You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 7th day of September, 2023. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. The first live broadcast is our live training room. That's from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, that broadcast is reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you haven't taken your 1-week free trial, you can do so by going to mytradingiq.com, and at the very top of the page, there's a link. It says 5-day free trial. Click it and the journey begins. Now, it doesn't matter what day of the week or weekend or hour of the day that you sign up for the trial. What will happen is once you complete the registration form, we'll get your desktop set up, we'll get your indicators indicating, and then the following trading day, your trial will actually begin. So you'll get 5 consecutive days, even if it stretches over a weekend. And also, it's not just access to the live training room, but to all the resources that all of our lifetime members have access to. It's all yours at no cost to you. We foot the bill, so there's no credit card required. We put our money, our time, our energy, our resources into you so that you can make a well-informed and intelligent decision as to whether or not what we do is right for you. Now, once the broadcast ends for the live training room, take a 30-minute break, and we come back for the afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. That's everybody, everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There's 2 different ways you can join the afternoon broadcast live. The best way, you only have to do this once. Go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says Afternoon Broadcast. Click the link, complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Going forward, every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before the broadcast starts. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Now, I call that the better way because it does give you access to the question box so that you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. There will be days that you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you would still like to join the afternoon broadcast live. You can. And there'll be days when you're just busy and can't join live, but you wish you could. But you still can. It's called our YouTube channel. It's pretty easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN. YouTube.com, you already have that part. So just remember the /CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,300 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. And if you're new to the world of CFRN, it's a great way to get to know who we really are. Not just today or this week, but over the years. Thanks to YouTube, you can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, 2 years, even more. You just pick some days at random. You don't have to listen to the entire broadcast, but just listen in a little bit. You'll quickly see the thread of connectivity, the thread of continuity that's woven through each and every daily broadcast and through our very vibrant trading community. YouTube.com/CFRN. All right, let's open with a word of prayer and our daily devotional. We are one day away from wrapping up our discussion on how to stop fear, worry, and insecurity. Today's scripture, Joshua 1, verses 1 through 9. After the death of Moses, servant of God, God spoke to Joshua, Moses' assistant. Moses, my servant, is dead. Get going. Cross this Jordan River, you and all the people. Cross to the country I'm giving to the people of Israel. I'm giving you every square inch of the land you set your foot on, just as I promised Moses. From this wilderness of this Lebanon, east to the great river, the Euphrates River, all the Hittite country, and then west to the great sea. It's all yours, all your life. No one will be able to hold out against you. In the same way I was with Moses, I will be with you. I won't give up on you. I won't leave you. Strength, courage. We're going to lead this people to inherit the land that I promised to give their ancestors. Give it everything you have, heart and soul. Make sure you carry out the revelation that Moses commanded you. Every bit of it. Don't get off track, either to the left or the right, so as to make sure you get to where you're going. And don't for a minute let this book of the Revelation be out of mind. Ponder and meditate on it day and night, making sure you practice everything written in it. Then you will get where you're going. Then you will succeed. Haven't I commanded you? Strength, courage. Don't be timid. Don't get discouraged. God, your God, is with you every step you take. Now, some of that will sound familiar because we have been in Joshua for this entire discussion on how to stop fear, worry, and insecurity. The focus today is on verses 3 and 4, but I gave you the whole thing, 1 through 9. Again, that's from the Message translation. So if you're reading the King James, there'll be some these and some thous, but the Message translation leaves those out. In the days of Jesus, they didn't say thee or thou. That's the King's English. But that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. When God made his covenant with Israel regarding the promised land, he originally promised them 300,000 square miles of land. When Israel finally went in and started conquering, they quit at about 3,000 miles. They only took possession of around 10% of what God had promised them. Even to this day, they still don't have all the land that God promised them. One day, however, they will have it all. When it comes to the things that God has in store, I think Christians only take possession of maybe 10%. Sometimes we might think that God wants us to be rich. Do not assume that God's blessings are going to be financial blessings. God wants us to be rich, but that wealth might not be money. In fact, sometimes money can be the worst thing for us. God will give you something far better than money. He might give us peace, contentment, or the ability to minister to people who are hurting. He's going to do those things for us. And that is the far greater blessing than any financial thing that God can do for us. God is never going to hold back. He wants to give us a lot. Don't be satisfied. It's just 10%. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you. Our hearts are full of faith and expectation. Just as you spoke to Joshua, you're speaking to us now, reminding us of your promise. Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you, just as I promised to Moses. Lord, we receive this promise with open hearts and unwavering trust. Thank you for your faithfulness, for you are the God who fulfills every word you speak. You are the promise keeper, and your word is a firm foundation upon which we stand. Your promises are our inheritance, and we declare today that we are ready to possess the land you have prepared for us. Help us, Lord, to step out in faith, knowing that you have already gone ahead of us to make a way. May we walk in confidence, for you have given us authority and dominion over every circumstance that we encounter. Just as you parted the waters of the Jordan for Joshua, we believe that you will part the obstacles in our path today and lead us to victory. We acknowledge that our strength and courage come from you alone. In times of doubt and uncertainty, remind us that you are with us always. Your presence is our assurance, and we will not be shaken. Lord, as we take possession of the promises you have for us, may we bring your glory to your name. Help us to be the faithful stewards of the blessings you bestow upon us, and may our lives be a testament to your grace, to your goodness. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. Everybody said, amen. Amen. Happy Thursday. Thursday means it is members only workshop tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. You have to be a member to get into the members only workshop. So if you've been on the trial, you can go to eminifuturestrading.com, get your passport today, and be in the workshop tonight. If you have any questions, call us at 949-42-EMINI or send an email to support@cfrn.net. The CFRN passport is your all-access pass. Everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. 9 out of 10 new traders fail because they don't have someone to teach them how to do the job. That's why we have 2 hours of live training every trading day. Also, as a passport holder, you have access to unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. The strategy that you learn is fluid across all markets and all time frames. Whether it's futures or stocks, crypto or forex, even ETFs. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. And the indicators that you own for life as a passport holder, they too are fluid across all markets and all time frames. As a passport holder, you receive the Logic 247 alerts, concierge trade alerts, and as I said, you'll be in the members only workshop every Thursday night. All that and so much more. Truly, it is everything a trader needs, all under one roof, one low price. No recurring fees, no upsells, no nonsense. eminifuturestrading.com. So let me give you the numbers from around the world. Start in the U.S. with cash markets, the indices. Dow's up 99 points. NASDAQ is down 149. That's about as diverse as it gets. That's a drop of over 1%. S&P 500 is down 14. Russell 2000 is down 22. And when we go to the charts, I will show you where the market found support today. I pointed it out to you yesterday and told you to be prepared for it, so hopefully you were. In the commodity basket, now the Russell, the S&P is down 14, the Russell's down 22, which is 1.25%. So it's 2 days in a row we've seen a big drop in the Russell. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 39 cents, trading 87.15 last. Gold up 80 cents, trading 19.45 last. Silver down 23 cents, trading 23.27 last. That's a drop of almost 1%. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei fell 249 points. Shanghai dropped 35. For the Shanghai, that's a drop of over 1%. The Hang Seng fell 247 points, which is over 1.25%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 15, DAX down 22, CAC up 2. That gave us a red day in Asia, a mixed day in the UK, and The Dow is the only major index in the green. So we have a mixed Radio Thursday here in the US of A. Now, for the Dow, 86 points. That's not a lot. That's 0.25%. So the potential for it to do a turnabout as it hits a weekly zone above or a previous swing high, and then chase the others in the red, I would say that's probably pretty high probability. Now, let me grab this recap that Valerie did for me and put it in the right spot and format it for me. Now, this alert is valid through 7 a.m. Eastern this morning. There have been some additional alerts, so if any of those trigger, she will update the alerts or the recap this afternoon and probably again this evening. Okay. We're in week 266. Over the last 266 weeks, we've issued over 15,000 individual handcrafted alerts. Since the Globex markets opened Sunday night, we didn't do anything Sunday night, took the holiday Monday, but we did start Monday night. So it's been a light week. We've issued a total of 15 alerts, of which 1 or 7% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure and a very simple process that I teach all of our passport holders. Now, when an alert comes out, the purpose of the alert, Logic 247, is so that you can take the alert and go look at your 30-minute chart for that market. See the window of opportunity that it represents. Most alerts are going to have multiple targets. If your goal is to get out at the initial target, which is designed to give you your goal for the day, you don't risk $300. If the alert has $1,000 or $2,000 of potential profit in it, the maximum you risk is $300 per contract per trade. The purpose of the alert is so that you learn to see the windows of opportunity yourself. You do not want to spend the rest of your life waiting on somebody else to tell you when to get in and when to get out. You want to be able to look at the charts, find the market that offers opportunity at the time you're ready to trade. And when you find opportunity, you're prepared to take advantage of it. It's really important that you learn the underlying principles, the rules that are taught in the live training room. They will serve you whether you trade a 7-tick range chart, a 30-minute chart, daily chart, a weekly chart, or a monthly chart. An average week has anywhere between 50 and 100 alerts. Again, we had a Monday holiday, and so we're sitting with 15 actionable alerts on a Thursday. We still have the rest of the day and tomorrow, so there may be more alerts today, and there's some in the hopper right now. So That said, we'll go to our original alert service, Concierge Trade Alerts. Now, the logic alerts are based on current price action. However, there's time built in to each and every alert for you to be able to receive the alert, go and look at the 30-minute chart of the applicable market and look for that window of opportunity from the entry to the initial target, the second target to the third target, to however many targets there are, all the way to the weekly trading zone. Each alert has a final trade to target. If it's a long trade, then it is the weekly trading zone above. If it's a short, final trade to target is the weekly trading zone below. In many cases, an alert will represent the potential of $1,000, $2,000, even more of potential profit. However, the maximum you want to risk is $300. And if you plan to get out at the initial target or the second target, then your risk should be commensurate, whatever the potential profit is in the trade, based upon how you choose to handle trade. Now, the CTAs are based on historic price action. Some of your best opportunities will come when current price action meets up with historic price action. It's kind of like when Harry met Sally. The CTAs do not come out around the clock. They're posted shortly after the Globex open each evening, Sunday through Thursday. Last night they were posted at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're in the Thursday session, of course, but remember the Thursday session began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So all of our members, all of our trial members had these targets at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So what do you do with the numbers once you receive them? Once the report comes out? It's really simple. Go to the 30-minute chart of whatever market or markets you actually trade and make a note of where price is at this time. Then draw a line in the sand at the long target, a line in the sand at the short target. They will serve as great visual cues to help you stay on the right side of the street. Now, once the report is out, if price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. It's pretty simple. Now on the Logic 247 alerts, I've already looked left for you to spot potential obstacles. That's why there's multiple targets. Previous swing highs and swing lows will become current resistance and support quite often. With the CTAs, which is a bigger picture look at the entire session, you get to look left yourself. The more times you repeat that process, the quicker you're going to learn the strategy and develop the confidence to trade with confidence. Indicators, oscillators are not the answer. What's going on in your head solves the big question. And you have to learn to tame that beast. And it is a beast. You're filled with emotions, whether it's fear, greed, something in between. You have to learn to emotionally separate yourself from whatever trade actions you take. There is no holy grail. There is no never get stopped out again. Getting stopped out is as much a part of trading as breathing is a part of life. Professional traders don't waste any time or money trying to figure out how to never get stopped out. They understand that risk is the doorway that leads to reward. Sometimes that door will get slammed in your face. Other times, it'll swing open wide. Your measuring stick, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever it is, that's what you need to focus on. If you're hyper focused on the outcome of every individual trade that you take, you'll live in a constant state of fear, greed, or insecurity. You got to turn it into a factory job. I know how to make the widget. I've been taught how to make the widget. So I show up, I make the widget, I clock out and go home for the day. The sooner you're able to see it in that manner, the sooner you'll find success in the markets. The weekly trading zones play a key role. When price drops to a zone, we expect support until proven otherwise. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance until proven otherwise. We've published the zone since December 14th of 2009. They come out for our members every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once they're published, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way. When Monday's a holiday, as it was this week, they come out Tuesday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Only 3 things happen at a weekly zone. 70% of the time will be consolidation. 20% of the time, rejection. 10% of the time is what we call the slice. That's when price slices through the zone like it's not even there. When that happens, most of the time, when that slice runs out of steam, it will retrace back to the zone it sliced through and then continue in the direction of the slice. So everything I've explained is pretty simple. You simply have to resist the urge to make it more complicated than that. Price can only do one of 3 things: go up, go down, and for a little while it may go sideways. If it's going sideways, that's not a market you want to be in. You want to look for a market that is trending, and you don't want to trade that initial impulse move. You want to wait for a retracement and then trade the next leg back up to the high of the first leg. That should be sufficient to give you your goal for the day, each and every day. You simply have to resist the urge to make it more complicated than that. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. Again, all members and trial members had these numbers last night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Since this broadcast is open to the public, feel free to take a screenshot. Or if you're watching this video after the fact, you can simply hit pause and jot down whatever numbers are relevant to the markets that you trade. All right, let's go look at the daily chart. Now, well, it's been a week. We talked, I think, first about this head and shoulders, potential head and shoulders, in last Thursday night's workshop. From May until July 27th, we were trending up. Leg retrace, leg retrace, leg retrace, leg retrace, leg. And then things changed. The pullback holds more often than not, but we know eventually it will trade through. And when it does, we'll start building legs in the opposite direction. Leg, trace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace. And then we're back above the BBC. Build that right shoulder. We've gotten below the step line, below blue and climbing. We're below the BBC. That simply stands for bull bear cross. When price crosses above the green line, we're bullish. We anticipate higher prices. When price gets below the green line, we're bearish. We anticipate lower prices. So yesterday, during the broadcast, I pointed out the next area that we would potentially find support, the low of August 29th. And in fact, that's exactly where we found support. And it gave us a nice bounce. But we're still below the BBC. And if we close below the BBC today, then blue and climbing will most likely turn to red and falling, as it did here. Blue and climbing is bullish, red and falling is bearish, until it gets directly below price, at which point it becomes potential support because it's on its way to becoming blue and climbing. You can see it's already starting to hook over. Price will most likely come back down to challenge this area if it breaks through this area. Watch out for the 44, 16, 17 area, but I don't think that's a big deal. What I'm looking for is a break of this area, and that gives us a window of opportunity back down to the 24% fib retracement. The fibs are drawn from the October 13th low of last year to the most recent swing high, July 27th. If we break the neckline, a measured move would take us from the top of the head to the neckline. That's what you measure. And then you drop down to the neckline. And a break of that 24% fib retracement will take us down close to the 50% fib retracement. Now, price rarely travels in a straight line, as you can see. Moves in legs, leg retracement, leg retracement, leg retracement, leg retracement. Okay. Been doing that since the inception of the markets. It will continue to do that until the markets cease to exist. It's simply how markets work. So there's going to be a nice opportunity here. Now, the first time we hit the 24% fib, now, this wasn't a hit of the 24% fib. This was a pullback to the BBC. This did not become the 24% fib until this new high was put in. So watch for a break of this area, trade to here, and then prepare for a potential bounce. Could be a good bounce, all the way back up to the BBC. We want to see blue and climbing turn to red and falling, give us a bearish cross. That's when the red line trades through the green line, taking us to the swing low of August 18th. And then once we hit the 38% retracement, as you can see, that's also where we hit the BBC. Before this was the 38% fib retracement. So as we come into this area, potential support there, potential support at the 38. There's support across these lows right here. But we're talking about big drop, okay? Now, every institutional trader looks at daily, weekly, and monthly charts. The way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? It has to do with account size. Most institutions have accounts in the hundreds of millions, billions, trillions of dollars. The typical retail trader has an account in the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So when the institutions trade, that moves price. Our strategy and our indicators are not designed to beat the market, whatever that means, or outsmart the institutions with all of their resources. Our strategy and our indicators are simply designed to help you see what the market is actually doing at any given moment. As you learn to use multiple time frames, which we will teach you, you won't know the future, but you'll know with a great degree of probability what the next high probability move is. In fact, once you understand how to see it, you can't not see it. So Michael should be here in a moment to do a recap of the live training room from this morning. Take a look at the ES. The vertical line separates today, Thursday, from yesterday, Wednesday. As you can see, we opened below the BBC. Price pulled up, pulled back holes more often than not. Blue and climbing turned to red and falling. So we had a nice move down. Remember, price rarely moves in a straight line. So we had a leg, a retracement, and a leg. Now we've retraced all the way back to the BBC. However, this may simply be a head fake. Be careful. You got blue and climbing right below. Before you think about shorting the market, you want to let price get below blue and climbing. Now it's possible buyers may be committed enough to take us back up to the zone overhead at 44.86. But you've got potential resistance here, here, and here. On the Dow, price dropped. It dropped enough to give you a goal for the day. Didn't reach the short target, nor has it reached the long target. Price has been below the BBC, above, below, above, below, above. Not really great trading conditions. Okay. Came real close. 34,585. But now we're getting the retracement. It's possible the step line will hold. Got a bullish cross, but remember, the other markets are all in the red. When I gave you the numbers from around the world, the Dow was the only one in the green. The Russell, here's where we opened last night. Pretty flat. Got a leg to the downside, pull back to the BBC, and then a continuation of the move to and through short target. Step line has crossed red and falling. So now, if we take out the high of this candle, potential for a move back up to the BBC is quite possible. On the NQ, here's where we open. Pulled up to the BBC, continued basically flat. Another pull up to the BBC, drop to the short target, pull back to the weekly trading zone, down through the target. We attempted to pull back to the BBC, but there was lots of selling pressure here. But as you can see, step line crossed, price pulled back, and now we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 30-minute candles find resistance at the BBC. When price pulls up to the BBC, we expect resistance. When price drops to the BBC, we expect support. Now we've gone sideways long enough for red and falling to turn to blue and climbing. Crude, we opened right at the weekly zone. We had red and falling overhead. Took us down through the BBC to the weekly zone. 86.80/85. When the market finds support, it will go look for resistance. When the market finds resistance, it will go look for support. If we pull away from the zone, then there's a nice window of opportunity down to the short target at 86.50. Michael, are you here yet?
I am here.
All right. All right, guys, we'll finish this up as soon as Michael's done.
Okay, here we go. Over here. And all right.
All right, looks good.
Excellent. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 7th day of September, 2023. All right, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to TradingIQ, right? MyTradingIQ.com. Go here to MyTradingIQ.com. It says right here, sign up for your free 5-day training now, 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern Time. Click on that. When you do, you will be brought to, you'll be brought to this page, actually. This page right here. Just fill out this form. We don't ask for any credit card information or anything like that. Just fill out this form, and right here, give us your username. Your TradingView login ID is what they call it. If you look up here, it says right here, logged in as CFRN. So it's your TradingView login ID. Just put that in down there. All right, we'll set you up. If you have NinjaTrader, put your NinjaTrader machine ID in right here. Now the latest version of NinjaTrader, it's not the 5th line down anymore, I don't think. But if you go to the help and about menu, that's where you will find it. All right. Send us all that information and we'll get your indicators all set up and indicating for you. Right. In the meantime, let's go to the spreadsheet. Sorry. Do all that and then we'll send you all the information you need to get into the room in the morning. Now, in the spreadsheet, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today's the 7th day of September, 2023. As I said, today we only made 8 ticks in the NQ. That's a low number for us for a really long time. Oh, we got -5 on that day. Because last month we had 1 down day 2. 26 ticks on the Russell, -10 on gold, and 2 on the ES. That put us at 95 in the morning session. Now we're at 200 and something. We got the goal for the day. And that took 34 minutes and 11 trades. We started out with 2 stop outs on the NQ. So we had to recover from that. That's why it took 11 trades. Anyway, at that point, with 9 contracts on, after 34 minutes, we're at $1,935, and we took a total of 17 trades this morning. So on a month now, at $910. So 3 days, averaging $303 per contract per morning session. On the year, we're at $75,834. That's for 165 days, averaging $459 per contract per morning session. If you were to quit trading when you get your goal for the day and you were to add 1 contract per month, so far this year, you would only had to work 52 hours, right? 52 hours. And you would have averaged $2,161. Now, that's not to say that, you know, if you sat down and worked 52 hours, like 1 week of 52 hours, you'd be all done for the year. You know, you have to sit down every day and work a little bit. And it's worked out to be 52 hours total so far. Okay. All right. So get into what we did do and didn't do. The gold is going to be pretty easy. Again, the gold was really easy. We had 1 trade right here and we stopped out. Stopped us out pretty much to the tick and then went on to do what it should have done. If we would have waited for the green arrow, we would have been okay with this trade. We would have gotten a break even. We wouldn't have taken any profit because it would have gone into the point where it would have moved the stop to break even and it would have taken me out to break even. The follow-up trade here, though, I would have been able to take. I didn't see that one. I was in the training session then. And that would have gotten us back these 10 ticks probably. But I missed it and there was nothing else on gold. Okay. On the Russell, we had some pretty good trades today. Russell was essentially our big winner today. The ES was at one point, but then we ended up giving it back. On the Russell, our first trade here on the Russell, we picked up 15 ticks on that one. The next trade, we picked up 4 more to get us to plus 19. Then we had a break even. Then we had 6 more to get us to 25, and then 1 more to get us to 26 right there. We got into a flat spot here during the training. We didn't do anything while it was flat. Came out of the flat spot after the training and went back into another one, which we didn't do anything during. During the break, it really didn't give a whole lot of opportunity. You see how the long-term direction here is just kind of wobbling around. You really want to let it establish itself. Like it is, I mean, it has now. It did right here. Once the second leg happened right here, it really established itself, but then it came back and it didn't continue. So the markets haven't been great for trading today, but if you got going early, they were all right. On the ES, we were doing okay on the ES. Our first trade in here on the ES was right here, and we picked up 2 ticks on the first one, and then 10 ticks on the next one. So at this point, we were at plus 12. Then we had another break-even trade right there, and we stopped out to the tick on this one. Right? I think I took it on this right here, not on the green arrow. I think I took this right here, which was just a ribbon trade. And it stopped me out to the tick, and then it gave me the green arrow right after it stopped me out. And either way, if I had taken the green arrow, I probably still would have stopped out. It would have been really close either way, but it stopped me out. And then it went down and did what it should have done. Got really sideways here while I was training. Started to get out of the sideways action, gave a couple of arrows in here, but that was still during the training, I think. I trained most of the morning because I've been trying to make up for the 2 days that we ended up not able to do it this week. During the break, there was one nice green arrow right here, and that was it for the ES. And now the NQ is 12:54. I got to go out here and do one other thing while I'm thinking about it right now, guys. I need to go here before I forget. The NQ, of course, we had the most trades on the NQ, and I will scroll back here and scroll down here, all the way down here, and click on that. Click on that one more time, and scroll back here. Okay, and refresh that, and scroll back some more. Some more. Shut that up. Do that. And trying to get all the way back here. I didn't open up the question box yet in case you guys had any questions. Let's see. No questions yet. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in. Okay, I'll try to get them answered. We only have 4 minutes left to go over the NQ stuff here. And didn't have as many trades as we normally get on the NQ, but this is where it started out, right? Now, for those guys who don't know, we're starting out at 9:15 in the morning. Okay, I started doing that that 9:15 start. Or anybody that's starting out the trial, or anybody that's coming over from TradingView. I started a live stream in TradingView at 9:15. So in here, this was right at 9:15. I took a long trade right here, and it promptly stopped me out, minus 20 ticks on the NQ. I took another one right here, and again, it stopped me out, minus another 20 ticks, or minus 40 ticks right there on the NQ. And it took us a little while to get that back. Right? We didn't take any trades through here. And then here, after the markets opened up, right in here, the markets opened up. I didn't take this bounce here. I didn't take the black arrow. I think I was waiting to get a higher swing than this level right here. Right? I wanted a little bit higher swing than that. We got the higher swing there, and I took this trade. Now on that trade, we went from minus 40 to minus 36. We only got 4 ticks on that. Okay, then we had a break even. And then another break even. I missed all those green arrow trades. Over here, we went from minus 36 to minus 6. So it looks like I picked up 30 ticks on that one. Okay, and then we didn't do anything for a little while. We had a break even here, and then we picked up another 4 ticks to get us to minus 2. And that, my friends, is why I stopped trading for a long time. Now, one of the things that I was going over today, and I went over yesterday, that I hadn't really pointed out, it was the result of a question that was asked of me. When the outer bands are blue like this, it means the long and short-term outer band, the long and short-term context, or long and short-term trend are both bullish. So if the outer band is blue and you get a black arrow, of the black arrows, that makes it a higher probability black arrow, right? Not everyone is going to work out, but the ones that are toward the beginning, like the 4th one, by then it's pretty long in the tooth usually. And you do for a deeper pullback, but usually the first couple, as long as that stays blue, the first couple are going to be a little more powerful, usually. Anyway, I was waiting for the green arrows, and I didn't take any of these trades in here because that was all training. So all through here, I didn't take any trades. But if you look at all these where the black arrows happen and the outer band is red, you can look at the band on the top and the bottom. They're the same color. They're exactly the same. They display a little bit differently with regard to where the context is. They're either completely in it or completely out of it, like this, in the context, out of the context. But the slope is the same and the color is the same. Anyway, all these black arrows, all through here. See in here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th black arrow didn't go anywhere. Right. The first one went a little bit, enough to get yourself to break even. The next one, after coming off a higher swing, was good, 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 good. This one finally didn't go anywhere. If you didn't get your goal for the day on those first 6, if you traded them all, even if you took a partial profit on every single one of them, you still should have gotten your goal for the day, unless your goal is really, really high. Anyway, I wasn't trading it all through here. I was doing the training. My next trade that I took in here was a stop out. So I went I don't even know where I was, but I stopped out there. Then I had break even there, and then going through some more. We didn't trade again. We had one trade toward the end. We had one 30-tick trade toward the end. I think it was this one right here. I took this black arrow right here. It was the first black arrow coming through here. This was red. I took a 30-tick profit right there. So the way it ended up, we ended up with just 8 ticks. We ended up with +8 overall on the NQ. Then I was actually answering questions and responded to questions through here. Up until about right here, I believe, is when it got cut off. And so we'll pick up there. During the break, right here, there were some nice green arrows. The black arrows still, if you took the first one, it would have kept you in all the way to here, which you would have gotten a break even. And then you probably would have wanted to not do anything except green arrows until you got here, and it's still red. It's still a good trade. Black arrows, all these would have been like one arrow up to here. Okay, you would have taken these, and it would have covered all that. This would have been a follow-up arrow after a long there, but you didn't have the blue down here. Just pointing it out. All right, that's gonna have to wrap it up for me, guys. We got to get into the live stream right now. It's 1:01. So I'll hit the live stream start over here, and again, I will say, if you have not taken the free trial with us and you want to take the free trial with us, if you haven't taken it and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com, sign up for it right here at 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern time. Okay, that's all you have to do. Now, on the NQ, I'm sorry, again, we got to get into the trading now. For those of you guys who are who are in here on the live stream, if you have any questions or you want to see anything other than futures, you just have to type in the symbol. Okay. I know this morning there was a fellow that kept asking to look at the USD, XAU USD, which is the spot gold. And we did look at it a couple of times this morning. I don't know what it ended up doing. Let me just check that out really quick. I'll get it right here. That's what we're looking at this morning. XAU USD is what we're looking at. And I'll look at it here. And this morning, I think I did it on a 50 range. I believe is what I looked at it on. And 1900 is what he was asking. Is it going to make it down to 1900? And it mustn't have been a 50 range. It might have been. It had to be something bigger than that. 500 range. I don't know. But 1900 is what he was thinking, and it could still get down there. It hasn't gotten down there yet. Given the difference in price between the XAU, the spot gold, this is 1918. You see the futures gold is 1942. So there's about 20 points difference in there, a little more than 20 points difference. And I was thinking the futures gold, looking at the big picture here, let me slide this over. Looking at the big picture here on the futures gold, it was looking to me like it was going to hit the ribbon here. It was at this time it was down here, and it was looking like it was going to go up and hit the ribbon and then sell off the ribbon. And I was thinking to the midpoint between the two weekly trading zones. So the midpoint is, if this is 51 and the one down below is 21, then the midpoint is going to be 36, right? Yeah, the midpoint is going to be 36 right here. So that's where I thought it was going to get to. It was right about here at the midpoint. And if that gets down to the midpoint on the futures gold, then the spot gold should definitely get down to 1900. Don't know how that's going to play out, but that's what I was thinking this morning. That was for the question that was asked this morning on the live stream. All right. Now I'll get back in here. I'll put this back on the 7 range and see what we have going on. We really don't have anything right now. All right, as far as the live stream goes, those of you guys that are in live stream, I'm happy to look at anything else other than futures because right now the futures aren't really giving us a whole lot to go with. Okay. This morning, I was saying this morning, we did get the goal for the day after 34 minutes and 11 trades. We're at $1,935 with 9 contracts. We did end up the morning pretty low though. We're only $95 a contract with 1 contract this morning after all the trading. We started out with 2 stop outs on the NQ. We managed to get that back. The Russell we did well on. The gold we only had 1 trade. It was a stop out. And the ES we had 3 positive trades and 1 negative trade, and ended us with a +2. Okay, we had a few break-even trades in there too. But that was the morning. The NQ is sort of looking like it's going to trade right here on an up close. It's going to pull it out of the oversold. It's not hitting the ribbon, so it's not going to give us a green arrow. It'll give us a black arrow. It'll be 55.25 is what we buy in right now. 55.25. Okay, it's just barely got a trend right here. Now the number's changed, and now it could give us a green arrow, and the number is now going to be 54 even. Right, 54 even. Got to have the up close. Is it still going to be 54 even? Now it's going to be 54.25. 54.25. Okay, yeah, 54.25. It went down 1 more tick. So if we get the up close and it pulls it out of the oversold, that would be a trade. If we get the up close and it'd be a green arrow trade. If we get the up close and it doesn't pull it out of the oversold, it'll still be a trade. It just won't have an arrow on it. Okay. If we get a down close, then you got to start the whole thing over again. So 54.25 is the entry point on that. Right now, we need the up close at 54.25 to give us that entry point. All right, now it closed down. Now there's no guarantee. Well, 54.90 right now. Okay, we got the green arrow. That is a trade right in there now. What's they saying? 54.90, 49.50 up to 53.50 is what you should have been buying. I'm in, but I'm in at 54.25. All right, now the stop goes to break even after 8 ticks in profit. Now what we anticipate, it's getting up here to 56.25 and the stop will go to break even. Now what we anticipate is, and it just took me out of break even. What we anticipate is that it's going to get up to the prior swing high, right? It should exceed this prior swing high right here and continue the trend. That's what it should do. All right. For anybody that's watching online on the live stream, if you want to see anything other than futures, just give me a symbol and I'll type it in and go look at that for you. But for right now, if you're watching in the live stream now or after the fact and you want to be notified when we do live streams like this, just hit the follow button. All right, just hit the follow button. If you hit that follow button, then you'll be notified whenever we do a live stream. Okay, hit the follow button. You'll be notified whenever we do a live stream. All right, so we did not continue the trend here. All right, we ended up with break even on that. We did not continue the trend. Now it seems to be changing direction. You see the blue right here, the blue background, that is a no trade zone. You don't want to trade when the markets are there in the blue. Right? You won't get any arrows, you won't get anything like that. Right? So this is kind of selling off like I was thinking it probably would. Let's go look at the bigger time frame on this. Okay, bigger time frame stuff. You know, on the NQ right now, we're selling off of the ribbon here on the NQ. I believe the ES is also selling off the ribbon right here. It goes down below the black step line, then get down below the MA1, and then go right down here. But it's selling off the midpoint and the ribbon. The NQ is not at the midpoint yet. It bounced off the midpoint. The midpoint was right in here. Okay, we bounced off the midpoint earlier this morning, right up to the ribbon, and now it's bouncing off the ribbon, and it should go down all the way down to the zone down below, probably. If we get it closed down below the MA1 on the 30-minute, you know, at any point today, I would expect there's going to be some support here, but if it breaks there, right down to the zone down below. Right, that's the NQ, the ES, we're below the midpoint, headed down. The Russell, we already broke the midpoint. Now the pullback on the Russell should get up toward the ribbon here, and then probably push back down. Okay, and the gold has been kind of junky all day. This is the midpoint in the gold between the 2 weekly trading zones. Now, why could I not make that on one place before? I think I did the math right? Yeah, it's right there, 1936. That is the midpoint. Right. So everything's looking like it's geared up to go down right here. All these markets right now. So all you got to do is wait for the trade setups. You need to hit the ribbon or get into the overbought right here that we just did. Well, we hit both. All right. So now we need an opportunity to sell right there on the NQ. And there it is, green arrow short. And here it is, and stop to break even. And now my target is at 30 ticks right here. My stop is at break even, so I don't have any risk. But it should get down here below 34.50 right now. That's what it should do. It should get below 34.50. Okay, now one of these trades I'm going to take profit on just so I can have a little profit. So far I have 2 break-even trades. Break-even trades in the opposite direction, back-to-back like that. It's usually an indication that we're getting into some whippy markets. Whippy, where it just bounces back and forth across the BBC. Okay, that's what whippy means in that case. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Okay. So I'm not able to take this green arrow because this one needs to continue the trend before I take on the trade from there. Okay. Oops, didn't do that. It doesn't look like it took anyway. Okay, well, there, I'll undo it. What we want to see is the lower swing here. Everything else is in a no trade zone, so it's pretty dry right here. Does anybody want to see anything other than futures? Anybody that's watching right now, do you want to see anything other than futures? If you do, just let me know. Okay. All right. We just want this to drop right here. Okay, we needed to put in a lower swing. Nothing else has given us a trade. I haven't looked at any of the other markets today, but we can. I can make this crude oil. If I just make crude, it transfers pretty directly to the gold. Just go look at what crude oil is doing today. I read somewhere that $300 crude is coming. I hope that's not the case, but who knows? All right, so crude today. Let's blow it up. Look at it a little bit bigger. Crude. We had the crude inventories come out today at 11 o'clock. Remember, because of the holiday, we had crude inventories come out at 11. So after the crude inventories, there's some nice green arrow trades in here. A black arrow right there. The outer band is red. There, and there. Black arrows where the outer band is red. And now it's got nothing going on right here. Okay. All through here, you had a whole lot of no trade zone with nothing happening. Just looking at all the black arrows where the band is the right color. Not all of them work. This one didn't. Nothing is 100%. Right, and so we're waiting on the crude right now. It's in a bunch of chop right here. Now the crude is the crude market shut down before everything else, a couple hours before everything else. They open earlier and they close earlier. So it doesn't look like we're really getting anything there. Let's look at something else. Let's look at the YM. Okay, let's see what the YM looks like today. That'll be on the U contract. You see how you can just transfer everything? Works for whatever you want it to work for. Green arrows in here working out well. Black arrows working out well. Okay. Pretty good stuff. You just follow along here. Black arrow with blue, black arrow with blue, black arrow with blue. Every one of those worked. Green arrow did not work out right here. Black arrow with red worked out okay. Black arrow with blue, enough to break even. Green arrow here worked out just fine. This one did not. Those two would have been one. So all of those worked out well. This green arrow here worked out well. Now the green arrows, the highest probability green arrows are going to be with the black line in the right color. So if you get a short green arrow and the black line is in the red, that's a higher probability trade. Okay. So waiting to happen here. We're out of the new trade zone on the NQ, but we just barely put in a lower swing. So it's not really a good trade there yet. Nothing on any of these other markets either here. Okay, so just waiting. If you have any questions about anything, it's 1:16, so we only have about 14 minutes left in here. But if you have any questions about anything, or if you want to take the free trial, go here to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial right here. When you do that, you go into this registration page, give us your TradingView login ID right here. Whatever you use to log into TradingView, put that in there. Okay. Say username. I'm going to go back and fix that so it doesn't say username anymore. It's going to say login ID. Do that. Okay. All right. So we need here. I really want to see it go up a little bit higher and then pull back on the NQ. Or if it pulls back, I want to see it drop right through the ribbon. See, it did go up a little higher. Spread that out a little bit more. Spread these out a little bit more. That makes it a little more attractive to me. The Russell went up. The NQ went up. We're just going sideways on the ES. We're just going sideways on the YM. So we need that to come down, test the ribbon, and bounce. Okay. We need to come down, test the ribbon, and then bounce off of that. All right. Reminded everyone there is a partners meeting tonight at 8 p.m. It is Thursday, so there's a partners meeting tonight at 8 p.m. Okay. And Christian meeting with you. So we're looking for price to pull back down and test the ribbon here. Did get up a little bit higher. That's what I wanted. If you look at it in the big picture, I'm still thinking it's bearish, but what is it going to? It's going right up into the ribbon here. It's not going into a weekly trading zone, so it's okay to take the trade going into the ribbon. It should give us enough to at least get the stop to break even. If you look at it in here, we'll see how it comes together, but it might not even give us a trade. It might fail from right here. We'll see. See, the Russell is doing it too. I think these are all head fakes on the Russell and on the NQ. But going to trade what's in front of us. The Russell's got a long way to go before he gets to the ribbon. So the Russell's got a better chance of giving us a decent trade, I think. I'm going to take whatever it gives us. Just trade what's in front of you. I'm going to trade what's in front of me. $119, so we have 11 minutes left in this session. We will wrap it up and get ready for the next meeting. And wrap that up and get ready for the next meeting. So nobody that's watching in the live stream has any other symbols they want to see? Nobody? Nothing? All right, this is not a trade right here, guys. I want to see it pull back closer to the ribbon. That's what I'm waiting for on the NQ. All right. I don't see any questions coming in anywhere. So if anybody comes up with a question, I'd be happy to respond. So we have nice higher swings on all of these right here. Well, not TS, but the gold is put in a higher swing, needs a pullback. The Russell's put in a higher swing, needs a pullback. The NQ's put in a higher swing, needs a pullback. The ES is just choppy. It's got a big whippy chop right here. It is coming out of its no trade zone though. You see how it's not blue behind the current bar? So it is coming out of the no trade zone, it looks like. That NQ trade, why would I not take it if it is a black arrow and blue on the bottom? When you have a direction change like this, David, when I have a direction change like this, I like to pull back deeper and hit the ribbon on the first trade. I like to see a green arrow for the first trade, the deep pullback. It's the second leg is what that makes it. Okay, because the first leg is like this. Then if it pulls back and it finds some support, which is usually right at the ribbon, and then makes that next leg, then you got yourself a trend. And then we need the little black arrows going up like that, afterward. And those, if it's blue down here on the bottom, they're more appealing to me. Okay. The question for those of you guys who are listening who didn't see the question was on the NQ trade. Why would I not take the black arrow if it's blue on the bottom? Because I was just saying how the black arrows with blue on the bottom are the higher probability trade trend gets going. The higher probability black arrow trades. That's what I was saying. After the trend gets going. Like this one would have stopped you out. This one would have gotten it back. This one would have stopped you out. And if it comes out of the oversold right now, it's going to have another one that probably would have gotten it back. But I wanted to pull back a little bit deeper. The first one after a trend change. The trend change is defined by this right here. The long-term progression was going down and then it changed up. Usually you're going to get a no trade zone in there where the trend change happens. Sometimes you have a whole bunch of it when it wobbles around like this. But that's what I'm looking for here on the NQ. So it hasn't pulled all the way back down and tested the ribbon yet. I was hoping this is the black arrow because it came out of the oversold. So again, this has got the blue here, so it's better than not having the blue. All right, it should put in a higher swing, but it's still not as appealing to me as if it came after I had the green arrow. That's like now. Yeah. Something else. All right. So I'm still waiting over here. This is all choppy right here. You see that? It was choppy here too. It's all choppy. It's consolidating. It needs to really figure out what it's doing. Over here on the gold, same thing. You see I did blue down here with your black arrow. I still want to wave that green arrow. First one, I want to see it bounce off of something solid. It's like my analogy. My analogy in the morning was, if you jump off a trampoline and you're actually jumping off the trampoline, it's going to send you up. But if you're in the middle of the jump and you just pump your legs like you're jumping, you're not going to go anywhere. So that first one, I like to actually bounce off the trampoline. Off the ribbon, as it were. This one right here, 61 up to 65 right now. Okay. That's what I'm waiting for. So I get the buy stop limit right there at 65. The bar should close right here. If it's going to close at the top, it's going to close right here at 64.75. So it'll trigger me in at 65 or somewhere around there, probably 65.50 or so, probably by the time it's done filling it. That's as long as the bottom stays where it is, and there it is, at just 65.50. That's what I figured. All right, so now we have a 20 tick stop on this. I think that's a 20 tick stop right there. It's 5 points away. Okay, that's a 20 tick stop. So now what we anticipate is that it's going to get up here and put in a higher swing. All right, so my 30 tick target, I have a 20 tick stop. It's probably just didn't stop me out. But my 30 tick target, I was going to just say from where I was in, what was it? It was at 5.5. So that would have been 72, 73. So my 30 tick target was actually right here. Was at 3 ticks at 73, and the swing high was right there at 71. So it may or may not have gotten that, but I would have gotten out with something. That one just stopped me out, but I would have gotten out with something. And I was saying earlier, I really think that this is just, these are all a head fake right here, and I think it's going to go down. But I said I was going to trade what's in front of me, and that is what was in front of me. The gold. 541 plus 8, 549. Oh, that's not the gold, the YM. I'm sorry, that's the YM. 541 plus 8 is 549, is what you would be buying right now on the YM. 549. I don't have YM DOM open, so I can't do it, but that's what you'd be buying on the YM. Okay, now because this one stopped me out, I can't take this green arrow. This has to continue the trend. Right? That prevents me from stopping out in the same direction twice, back to back. It's got to continue the trend for me to want to take this trade. Right. Continue the trend means get up above this level right here. Okay. All right. So the YM gave the trigger. The trigger was actually from down here at 549. You didn't get the black arrow because it didn't come out of the oversold. But it was actually down here at 549, and you see the YM has started to move up like it should. The NQ is now starting to move up like it should have before, but it pulled back just a little too deep for me and stopped me out. The ES, I'm not sure what the ES is going to do. The Russell is starting to move. The Russell came down really close to the zone. So, really close to the zone. This is almost put in a higher swing now. This has put in a higher swing, and the ES is still giving us nothing. All right, so now we do have the higher swing on the NQ. So this stopped us out a little more than to the tick. You know, we had a 20 tick stop, so we had to go down to about right here to stop us out. So it was a little more than to the tick, but it did do what it should have done. It continued everything. Continue the trend, so we'll look for another opportunity here and get that 20 ticks back. One positive trade will take care of that negative trade. We're not in the oversold and we're not in the ribbon, so this bar is not going to trigger anything. Okay. All right. Well, guys, it is 1:30. I'm going to give this just another minute here and see if it develops into anything for us. Okay. If it gives us up close, it's not going to. No, it's not going to. So we have the Russell here. If you want to take the Russell near the ribbon, then that's working out. It should put in a higher swing. The ES is giving us nothing, and the YM, if you took the YM from back here at 549, where I suggested, it's doing okay. Where should the YM go? Well, let me go and take a look at where the YM should go. Hold on just a second. On the YM, we're trading at 34,567. 34,567. 34. Wow. 34,630 is the next zone above us. 34,630. That's a long way away. That's what it's looking like. Over here on the EQ, it's pulling back again. If the first trade is losing, the second trade chance to deep pullback with a green almost crosses a black, but doesn't. The second trade does well. Yeah, that's it's tough. I don't like to take two trades in the same direction until it's proven to me that it is really going in that direction. If I stop out on the first one, that's my deal. All right, but that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up at this point. I'm going to wrap up the live stream anyway. Okay. The next level up is 6:30 as far as the weekly trading zones go in the bigger picture. It should pull back down, maybe give you another trade. This over here, I still think that all these markets right now are just giving head fakes. You see, I was having a hard time putting in a higher swing right here. We're still in no trade zone on the ES, and we're having a hard time over here doing anything. So I'm thinking they're all going to go down the rest of the day probably. But for right now, let's get into the live stream. For everybody that's in the live stream, thanks for coming today. If you want to see it again, we'll do it again tomorrow. If you have not seen the live streams in the morning, we do this at 9:15 a.m. as well. Right, come to the 9:15 a.m. stream, and you'll see it at the open, a little before the open and at the open. It's a lot more action then. All right, let's get to the live stream. All right, I can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South America's largest city park. You are ready.
Alrighty. Recap of the morning session.
Today, hang on, over here, it took 34 minutes and 11 trades to get to $1,935.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we left off on gold, and it has remained flat basically throughout the session. Open below the BVC, we got above, then back below, then above, and below. Just not great trading conditions. Silver, flat as well. We did hit the short target. And after we hit the short target, we pulled back to the BVC 1, 2, 3 times. Remember, the pullback holds. Often then it doesn't. And on the euro. Euro is consolidating at the weekly trading zone. That's what happens 70% of the time. Consolidation when price hits a zone. 20% of the time rejection. 10% of the time the slice. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance like we had here. When price drops to a zone, we expect support like we had here and here until proven otherwise. It's pretty simple. All right, remember, it's the low of August 29th that we need to break so that we can continue this move. You do want to pay attention to 44.14/15, but to continue trek down to the neckline. If that neckline gets broken, there's the potential these markets could drop all the way to the 50% fib retracement. That's quite a move. Price does fall faster than it rises because it takes financial commitment for price to rise. In order for price to fall, all it takes is for institutional buyers to hit the pause button. And every institutional trader sees this on their chart, and they're all asking the same question that we're posing right here, right now. Are buyers, in the face of this, going to continue buying? I suspect the path of least resistance is to the downside. Again, should we close below this area that we highlighted yesterday and the day before, if we close below that area, then blue and climbing is, or blue and sideways at the moment, is going to turn most likely to red and falling. Could take one more day, but Yeah, if we close below this line, I think we'll see the shift to red and falling when the markets reopen tonight. Okay? And watch this low and the step line. If we are the neckline, if we break the neckline and look for that move down to the 50% fib. Got to get through the 38 first. That could take weeks, that could take months. Every time price hits it, could be good for a bounce. You just have to be patient and see what happens. We don't know the future, but we do know how to look at a chart and know what the next high probability move is. And that's where you want to be. Go here, eminifutures.trading.com. You'll be in the members only workshop tonight. Passport is good for life. No recurring fees, no upsells, no nonsense. 2 hours of live training every trading day. Unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. The strategy you learn, the indicators you own for life as a passport holder are fluid across all markets, all time frames. Futures, stocks, crypto, forex, ETFs, doesn't matter. Price flow is the same across all markets and all time frames. All that, much more. It's your all access pass to everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. Everything a trader needs, all under one roof, at one low price. All right, let's wrap it up with our good word for the day. Do you have an attitude of entitlement? Now, we know many in our younger generation today do, but just because you may have a few shades of gray doesn't mean you don't have a sense of entitlement as well when it comes to certain things, certain situations. Galatians 5:13. It's a cautionary tale. By love, serve one another. Do you have an I owe you attitude or a you owe me attitude? What gives us an attitude of entitlement? It's found in the middle of the word entitlement itself. Title. We assume people owe us because of the title we hold in their lives. Whether it's husband, wife, mother, brother, daughter, friend, pastor, donor, employee, boss, you get the idea. We think of our title as a title deed that gives us the right to whatever advantage we expect. Paul described the essence of discipleship in these words. By love, serve one another. If you have an attitude of entitlement, here are some strategies to help you overcome it. Number one, understand the difference between your rights and your desires. You have the right to expect your husband or wife to be faithful to you, but you don't have the right to expect them to wait on you hand and foot. John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. True love is marked by giving, not taking. Number two, live by the golden rule. Matthew 7:12. Jesus said that whatever you want others to do for you, take the initiative and begin doing it for them. Now you might say, but what if they don't return the favor? Doesn't matter. You're doing it for God, not them, so God will return the favor anyway. God will reward you anyway. He will not forget how hard you have worked for Him and how you have shown your love to Him by caring for other believers as you still do. Hebrews 6:10. And number 3, never assume that a person's past kindness creates an ongoing obligation to you. God may use others to bless you, but He alone must always be the source you trust to meet your needs. Man will fail you, but God never will. You can read more about that in the book of James, chapter 1. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.